A hand, trembling, pale against rotted wood, the fingers spread wide, pressing back, pushing away. "Bitte halt!" The voice cracks, young, female, desperate. "Ich bin infiziert." The hand drops. The darkness swallows it, cut to black. November 17th, 1944. 5:47 in the morning, Western Germany. Temperature, 34 degrees Fahrenheit. 1 train, 42 women, 0 guards. What happens next will take 15 minutes to unfold, but it will take 59 years to understand. 6 hours earlier. The fog came in thick that morning, not the clean white mist of autumn fields, but something heavier, industrial fog, the kind that tasted like coal dust and carried the weight of a collapsing empire, the kind that made visibility drop to 20 yards and turned every shadow into a potential threat or salvation. Captain Nathaniel Hartfield walked point through the abandoned industrial district. 28 years old, engineering degree from Penn State, class of 1939. Before the war, he designed bridges in Pittsburgh, calculated load-bearing capacity, stress points, failure modes. Now he calculated different things: supply routes, casualty rates, how many tons of ammunition it took to advance 1 mile, how many lives it cost to hold one bridge. 2 years in logistics taught him that wars aren't won by courage or strategy alone. They're won by the side that can move food, fuel, and ammunition faster than the enemy, by the side that maintains its supply chains when everything else collapses, by the side that remembers soldiers can't fight on empty stomachs and trucks can't run without fuel. Behind him walked Corporal Elliot Brennan, 32 years old, medical pack strapped to his back, always carrying it, even off duty, even in his sleep sometimes. From Boston, Irish Catholic family, 3 brothers serving in the Pacific, 1 sister who died in 1939, Margaret, 19 years old, tuberculosis, state sanitarium in western Massachusetts. Brennan had been in medical school when Margaret got sick, 3rd year, learning about infectious diseases, about quarantine protocols, about how systems are supposed to work when people follow the rules. Then, Margaret died. 3 days dead before anyone found her. 3 days alone in a quarantine ward with bells she'd been too weak to ring. Because the staff followed protocols, checked patients every 72 hours, no more, no less. Rules are rules. Brennan dropped out of medical school the day after her funeral, enlisted 6 months later, became a combat medic, learned a different kind of medicine, the kind where rules matter less than attention, where protocols kill as often as they save, where the difference between life and death is often just someone who gives a damn. The third man was Private Lawrence Fisher, 24 years old, radio operator, German-speaking parents who left Dusseldorf in 1936, saw what was coming, got out while borders were still porous. His grandmother stayed behind. Too old to start over, she said, too tired to learn a new language, too attached to the apartment where she'd lived for 40 years. Her last letter arrived in March 1943. It talked about rationing, about standing in line for bread, about how the streetlights didn't work anymore and everyone lived in darkness, about how young men kept disappearing and young women kept crying, about how she didn't understand what was happening but knew it was something terrible. She said she loved him, said she hoped America was good to him, said goodbye without knowing it was goodbye. Fisher never heard from her again. Tried Red Cross, tried military channels, tried everything. Nothing. She vanished into the machinery of war, one old woman among millions, erased by a system that processed people like cargo. They moved through silence, empty factories, broken windows, rail tracks that led nowhere. Germany in its death throes, still breathing, still fighting, but already dead in all the ways that mattered. Hartfield raised his fist. Military signal. The patrol stopped, froze, weapons ready, eyes scanning for threats. "Sir," Fisher whispered. Hartfield pointed ahead through the fog. 300 yards, maybe less. Hard to judge distances in this soup. A siding next to a loading platform. 6 boxcars sitting motionless. Brown paint faded to rust. weathered by years of hard use. Freight cars, not passenger coaches, not even cattle cars, just cargo containers. Engine? Brennan asked quietly. No engine. Hartfield raised his binoculars, scanned slowly, methodically. No guards, no smoke, no movement, no signs of recent activity. Could be supplies, abandoned when the front moved. Could be. Hartfield lowered the binoculars, handed them to Brennan. Could be a lot of things. Take a look. Brennan studied the train through the binoculars. 6 cars, all identical, doors facing the platform. And something else, something that made his stomach tighten. Sir, those cars are padlocked, from the outside. Hartfield took the binoculars back, looked. Brennan was right. Each door had a padlock, shiny, new, not rusted like everything else, recently installed, which meant recently locked, which meant something inside worth locking, or someone. Move up, cautiously, weapons ready. If this is an ambush, I want clean fields of fire. They approach slowly. 2 men ahead, 2 covering, 2 watching flanks, standard tactical movement. The fog muffled sound, made everything feel dreamlike, unreal, like walking through someone else's nightmare. The first boxcar's door faced them directly. Hartfield examined it up close. Standard freight car, probably built in the 20s, wood slats reinforced with metal. Ventilation slit near the roof, 6 inches wide, 2 feet long, enough for air but not escape. And below the handle, scratched into the wood with something sharp, German words. Fischer. The private leaned close, read the scratches. His face went pale. Typhus, nicht öffnen, typhus, do not open. The word hung in the fog like a curse. Typhus, the invisible killer, the epidemic disease, the nightmare every soldier feared more than bullets. Typhus spread in cramped conditions, in camps, in trains, in places where humans were packed together without sanitation. It killed indiscriminately. Soldier, civilian, victim, perpetrator. Typhus didn't care. Check the other cars, Hartfield ordered. They spread out, 1 man per car. Each reported back the same, padlocked from outside, warning scratched into wood. Typhus, contaminated, do not open. Some warnings in German, some in French, 1 in Polish, all saying the same thing. Danger, disease, death. But something else too. At car 3, Brennan heard it first. A sound, faint, rhythmic, not random, not mechanical, deliberate. 3 knocks, pause, 3 knocks, pause, 3 knocks. Captain, someone's alive in here. Hartfield moved to Brennan's position. They pressed ears against the wood. Cold, damp. The knocking continued, then stopped, then started again. Pattern, signal, message, not cargo settling, not wood contracting. Human, intentional. Then a voice, thin, weak, barely audible, but unmistakably human, unmistakably female, speaking German. Fischer, translate. The private pressed his ear to the door. Listen. Tears formed in his eyes, unbidden, unexpected. Sir, she's saying help, over and over. Hilfe, bitte, Hilfe. Help, please, help. How many voices? Fischer listened harder. Multiple, at least 5, maybe more, all female, all weak. Hartfield looked at his men, at the padlock, at the warning scratched into wood. The protocol was clear. Suspected disease meant quarantine, meant calling headquarters, meant waiting for medical corps with proper equipment, decontamination procedures, isolation protocols. That could take 24 hours, 48, 72, maybe more. But protocols were written for military situations, for soldiers, for combatants, not for civilians locked in boxcars calling weekly for help. Not for women who knocked 3 times and paused, and knocked 3 times again, like they'd been doing it for days, and knew no one was listening, but kept doing it anyway because what else was there to do? How long since anyone checked these cars? Hartfield asked. Brennan examined the padlock, the rust patterns on the door brackets, the weathering on the wood. Days, maybe a week. The lock is new, but everything else is old. These cars have been sitting here a while, and they're still knocking. Yes, sir. Hartfield made the decision that would echo through 59 years. Cut the lock. Sir, regulations. I know the regulations. Cut it. Brennan pulled bolt cutters from his pack. Standard equipment. For wire, for chain, for padlocks when necessary. The blades bit through the shackle. Sharp crack. The lock fell to the gravel, loud in the fog. Final. Hartfield gripped the door handle. Heavy, stiff, rusted from disuse. Required both hands, all his strength. Everyone back 3 yards. Brennan, Fisher, get masks on. Weapons ready in case this is a trap. On my count. 3, 2, 1. He pulled. The door screamed. Metal on metal. Decades of rust breaking free. It moved 6 inches. Stopped. Gap of darkness. And the smell hit like a physical force. Not death exactly, but close. Waste, sickness, sweat, urine, feces. The smell of human bodies pushed beyond the limits of hygiene, beyond dignity, beyond anything recognizable as civilization. Brennan gagged through his mask. Fisher turned away. One private vomited into the gravel. Hartfield pulled harder, arms straining, back arching. The door moved. Wider, wider. Light spilled into darkness. Grey light, fog light. But after darkness, even that was blinding. And then he saw them. 7 women. Not soldiers, not prisoners in uniforms, just women, civilians, wearing coats and dresses and skirts that had become rags. Some sitting upright but swaying, eyes unfocused. Some lying motionless, breathing shallowly. One woman near the door scrambled backward when light hit her, dragging herself. Legs not working properly, muscles atrophied. And in the back, pressed against the wall, the woman who'd been knocking. Mid-20s maybe, hard to tell. Her hair had been cut short, unevenly, by someone who didn't care or didn't have proper tools. Her face was all angles, cheekbones jutting, skin stretched tight over skull, eyes sunken deep, lips cracked and bleeding. The face of someone dying slowly. She raised her hands, palms out, shaking uncontrollably. Bitte halt, ich bin infiziert. Please stop, I'm infected. Fisher translated, though Hartfield understood enough. 2 years in Germany, you learn the important words, the life and death words. The woman kept talking, faster, desperate, German pouring out between gasps. She says don't touch her, says she has typhus, says we'll die if we come closer. Sir, she's begging us not to help her. She's begging us to close the door and leave. Hartfield stared. 2 years of war. He'd seen surrender, seen prisoners beg for mercy, seen civilians plead for food. But never this. Never someone so afraid of rescue they pushed it away. Never someone who believed help would kill her helpers. Behind the woman, the others repeated the word. Infiziert. Infiziert. Infected. Some whispered, some cried. One older woman sat motionless, catatonic. 2 women lay against the wall, one breathing, one not. Brennan pushed forward, professional instinct overriding caution. The woman recoiled, tried to press through solid wood. Don't, she said in broken English, heavily accented. Don't touch, please. I'm infected. You die. Brennan pulled his mask down. Let her see his face. Miss, I'm a medic. I need to examine you. No. Typhus. You die. Everyone die. Close door. Leave us. I don't think it's typhus, but I need to check. Captain, Brennan said quietly. We need to check the other cars. They moved down the line. Car 2 was worse. 8 women, 6 dead. Bodies stacked neatly against walls. Someone had tried to maintain dignity, even in death. The 2 survivors barely reacted when the door opened, just stared with empty eyes. Car 3, 7 women, 1 with a notebook, diary, German writing, neat handwriting despite circumstances. Another woman clutched a photograph. 2 children. She wouldn't let anyone near it. Car 4, 7 women. Car 5, 7 women. Car 6, 6 women. all terrified, all begging Americans not to touch them, not to risk contamination, all certain they were diseased, all sure rescue meant death for rescuers. By the sixth car, Hartfield was shaking, not from cold, from rage, pure rage. This wasn't war, this wasn't combat, this was something else, something worse. Administrative murder, bureaucratic genocide. Lock them up, mark them contaminated, leave them, let them die, problem solved. He stood on the platform, did the math. 7 plus 8 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 6. 42 women, 42 civilians, locked in freight cars, left to die. All believing they were contaminated, all begging not to be saved. Brennan climbed down from the last car, removed his mask, face pale, grey. "Sir, this isn't typhus." "You're certain?" "Certain as I can be without laboratory tests. No fever rash, no characteristic distribution pattern, no eschar, no petechiae. This is malnutrition, severe dehydration, prolonged exposure, scurvy, pellagra, starvation diseases. They've been locked in here for weeks. They think they're sick. Someone told them they were sick. Someone convinced them. Look at the scratches on the doors. Those weren't done from outside. Those were done from inside. They were told to mark themselves, told to warn people away." Fisher was still translating for the woman in car 1, getting her story, learning names, dates, details. Her name was Anneliese Richter, 23 years old, munitions worker, Essen, Krupp factory, assembly line. Got arrested for trading 3 brass casings for aspirin, black market. Her grandmother had arthritis, needed medicine. Official channels had nothing. So Anneliese stole 3 empty casings, traded them for aspirin. Gestapo caught her 3 blocks from home. Holding facility, 2 days. No charges, no trial. October 28th, guards put her on a train, told her relocation, told her west, told her safer, told her she could write her grandmother after arrival. That was 20 days ago. "How long in the car?" Hartfield asked. Anneliese looked at him, really looked, trying to determine if this was real, if he was real, if any of this was happening, or if she was hallucinating from hunger. 22 days, October 28th to today, I counted, every day, scratched marks on the wall. Food? Gone, day 15. Water? Gone, day 18. Guards? Left, day 17. They said... She stopped, swallowed. It looked painful. They said we were contaminated. Typhus outbreak. Said anyone who opened the doors would die. Said medical team would come, with protective equipment. But no one came. No one ever came. She looked at Hartfield with eyes that had forgotten hope. "You should go. Close the door. We're infected. We'll kill you. We're contaminated. We're poison. Please go." Brennan knelt, slowly, non-threatening, professional. "Miss, may I examine you?" "No, don't touch. Typhus." "I don't think it's typhus, but I need to look. Just look. No touching. Just visual examination." Anneliese looked at the others in her car. The 6 still alive, the 1 already dead. They looked back. Some nodded, some shook their heads, all terrified. She extended her arm, just her arm. The rest of her stayed pressed against the wall. Brennan examined without touching, professional, clinical. Her skin, her eyes, yellowed, jaundiced. Her fingernails, brittle, cracked. Her lips, her gums, her teeth. Signs of severe malnutrition, scurvy, vitamin deficiencies, dehydration, starvation. "Miss, how tall are you?" 168 centimeters, 5'6". Brennan estimated weight by sight. Years of practice. You learn to judge the way clothes hang, how prominent bones are, the space between thighs that shouldn't exist. 87 pounds, maybe less. BMI around 14. Critical, dangerous, life-threatening, but not infected. "Miss Richter, you don't have typhus." But the guards said, the guards lied. Silence. Complete. Total. The words took all oxygen from the air. No, they showed us papers. Official papers. Nazi eagle. Stamps. Signatures. Typhus outbreak. Quarantine protocol. Papers can say anything. Your body doesn't lie. You're not infected. You're starving. 22 days of believing she was contaminated, that anyone who touched her would die, that she deserved to die alone. All a lie.
But we're enemy, German. We made weapons, killed Americans. Why would you help enemy?
Hartfield stepped forward, met her eyes. You're not enemy. You're civilians. We worked for Reich. You worked in a factory because that was the job. You got arrested for helping your grandmother. That doesn't make you Wehrmacht. That makes you a granddaughter who loved her grandmother. Fischer was crying while translating, because this woman was his grandmother's age, and his grandmother was dead, and maybe if someone had opened her door, she wouldn't be. Hartfield made his decision. Fischer, get headquarters on the radio. I need medical support. Now. Sir, regulations require... I know what regulations require. Do it. Fischer ran. Hartfield looked at Brennan. Can they be moved? The weakest can't. Moving them could kill them. Refeeding syndrome. The body forgets how to process food. Too much, too fast causes cardiac arrest. I've seen it. Liberation camps. Prisoners saved from starvation. Dead from their first meal. We need to be very careful. What do you need? Water first. Small amounts. 2 ounces every hour. Then liquid nutrition. Broth. Diluted milk. Nothing solid. Gradual increase over weeks. 1,200 calories day 1, 1,500 day 7. Monitor constantly. This is intensive care. Can you do it here? Should be field hospital, but headquarters is 3 days away. And in 3 days, 10 will die. Maybe 15. Hartfield made the decision that would define the rest of his life. We help them now. Here. With what we have. Sir, that's an order, Doc. Fischer returned. Sir, headquarters says quarantine protocol. 72 hours minimum. Medical team en route. 3 days. Tell her we're not leaving, Hartfield said. Fischer translated. Anneliese's face didn't change, like she couldn't process it, couldn't believe anyone would stay. Tell her we're going to help, that she's not contaminated,
that she's not going to die here.
Anneliese looked at them, waiting, testing, hoping. Why? She whispered in English. One word, clear as broken glass. Hartfield met her eyes. Because you knocked, and we heard you. The sun was rising, burning off fog, revealing 6 boxcars, 42 women told to die quietly, told no one would come, but someone came. It started here, with a knock, with a door, with a choice. I'm infected. We're not leaving.
October 26th, 1944.
Anneliese Richter worked the assembly line at Krupp Munitions Factory. Shift started at 6 in the morning. The factory floor was cold, metal cold, the kind that seeped through gloves and made fingers ache after the first hour. 40mm cartridge cases, artillery shells. Her job was simple. Inspect brass casing, check for defects, pass it forward. Repeat 800 times a day, 6 days a week, 16 Reichmarks weekly. Enough for bread, sometimes potatoes, never meat. The foreman said she had good hands, strong, steady, quick, reliable. Before the war, she'd wanted to be a seamstress, make dresses, wedding gowns, beautiful things. Now she made things that killed people from a distance, made them well, efficiently, with precision. Her grandmother lived 3 blocks away, 71 years old, arthritis in every joint. Walking was agony, standing was torture, sitting hurt, everything hurt. She needed aspirin.
The pharmacy had been empty for months. Everything went to soldiers. Soldiers needed medicine. Civilians could suffer, but the black market had everything. 3 brass casings, that's what the man wanted. Empty. No gunpowder, no primers, just the brass. Raw material, could be melted down, sold, reused. 3 casings for 1 bottle of aspirin, 30 tablets, 1 month of relief if used carefully. Anneliese palmed them during lunch, slipped them into her coat pocket, Simple, quick, no one watching. Or everyone watching but no one caring, because by October 44, everyone was stealing something. 5:43 in the evening, dark already, winter approaching. She met the man outside the factory. He handed her the bottle. She handed him the casings. 3 seconds, transaction complete. 3 blocks from home, the Gestapo grabbed her. 2 men, black leather coats, nightmare uniforms. One grabbed her arm, spun her. The other searched her pockets, found the aspirin. No label, no pharmacy stamp. Black market? What was there to say? The truth? A lie? Neither mattered. Sabotage, theft of military material, undermining the war effort. It was 3 casings. My grandmother can't walk. She needs... The Führer doesn't care about your grandmother. Holding facility, concrete building, no signs, no markings. 23 women inside, ages 17 to 50. Some cried, some sat silent. One woman laughed. High, brittle, broken. 2 days. No charges, no trial, just questions. Who else was involved? Where did you get the casings? Who's your contact? She told the truth. She stole them herself. No network, no conspiracy, just desperation. October 28th, morning. A guard opened the door. Relocation. West. Safer. Away from the front. Can I tell my grandmother? No. You'll write after you arrive. Rail yard. 42 women total. 6 boxcars. An officer read from paper. Monotone. Bureaucratic. Relocation for the safety of the Reich. Cooperation required. Resistance will be met with appropriate measures. They loaded them systematically. 7 women per car. Count them. Close the door. Lock it. Move to the next. 7, 7, 7, 7. 6 in the last. Anneliese went into car 1 with Rosa, Helga, Gisela, Clara, and 2 others whose names she never learned. Doors closed. Locks clicked. The train moved. Day 1. Days 1 through 5, they had hope. The ventilation slit let in light. 6 inches wide, 2 feet long. They took turns beneath it, breathing fresh air, watching sky, seeing trees pass, knowing they were moving, knowing they existed. They had supplies. 2 loaves of bread, 1 bucket of water, 7 women. Rosa did the math. She was good with numbers. Seamstress, had to be. 2 ounces bread per person daily, 4 ounces water, 5 days, maybe 6. Until what? Helga asked. No answer, because what came after didn't bear thinking about. The train moved during day, stopped at night. Through the slit, Anneliese watched stars, tried tracking direction. West. They were going west, away from Russians, toward Americans. Maybe that was good. Day 5. Bread gone. Day 8. Water gone. Rosa started coughing. Deep, wet, lungs filling, fever building. Day 9. Anneliese did the math. 105 calories per day. Body needs 1200 minimum. Not enough. Not close. Starvation rations. Day 12. Rosa died. Morning. Cold. They moved her to the corner, covered her with someone's coat, tried not to look. That night, Anneliese heard guards outside. How much longer? Until the front stabilizes. And if it doesn't? Then we leave them. They're civilians. Doesn't matter anymore. Day 17. The guards left. Morning. Silence. No boots, no voices. Through the slit, empty tracks. Abandoned. Forgotten. At noon, paper slid under the door. Official. Nazi eagle watermark. Clara read it aloud. Achtung! Typhus outbreak. Contaminated cargo. Do not open. Quarantine protocol in effect. We don't have typhus, Gisela whispered. Or maybe they're lying, Anneliese said. This way we disappear. Quietly. Officially. Contaminated cargo. No one has to deal with us. Clara cried. My mother doesn't know where I am. They were going to die here, and no one would know. Day 20. Anneliese's skin started breaking. Small red marks. Arms. Legs. Malnutrition. But her mind went to the paper. Typhus. Rash. We're contaminated, Clara whispered. Maybe the guards were right. Maybe they really were infected. Annalisa made a decision. If anyone came, she'd warn them, tell them to stay away. Better to die than kill someone trying to help. Day 22. The knocking started. Helga's idea. 3 knocks. Pause. 3 knocks. Pattern. Signal. Someone's alive. Then morning. Fog. Americans. Annalisa saw them through the slit. Her heart seized. Americans meant liberation, but also contamination. If she was infected, opening that door meant spreading disease, meant killing soldiers who survived Normandy and Bastogne. She knocked harder. Please hear us, but please be careful. The Americans approached. One spoke German through the door. Who's in there? Hilfe! Bitte! Metal on metal. They were cutting the lock. Panic. No, don't! We're infected! Typhus! Don't open! The door opened. Light. Blinding.
Bitte halt, ich bin infiziert.
The words that would echo 59 years. Not thank you, not help me, but stay away. I'm contaminated. I'll kill you. The medic stepped closer. She pushed against the wall. Don't touch me, please, I'm infected. He knelt. Looked without touching. Clinical, kind. How long have you been in here? 22 days. When did you last eat? Day 15. Water? Day 18. He studied her marks, then looked at the captain. Sir, this isn't typhus, no fever rash. This is malnutrition, critical, but not typhus. 22 days believing she was contaminated. No, the guards said. Official paper. The guards lied. If they lied about typhus, what else? Everything. Every promise, every order, every anthem, everything. I made bullets that killed Americans. Why help me? The captain, calm, certain. You made bullets because that was the job. You got arrested helping your grandmother. That doesn't make you my enemy.
That makes you human. Human.
Foreign word. Later that afternoon, Fischer found a document in car 2. Wehrmacht stationery, dated November 15th, 2 days before the guards left. Disposal protocol, classified. Not relocation. Disposal. They were being erased, locked in, marked contaminated, left to die, official, stamped, approved. This goes to war crimes, Hartfield said. Annalisa watched Americans document everything, like she mattered, like her name meant something. For 22 days. Will we survive? But the real question, will anyone see us? The Americans saw her, documented her, refused to let her become a statistic. Brennan held out his canteen. Water. Real. She whispered, I'm infected. He said, No, you're not. The sun rising, and Annalisa Richter understood. The contamination wasn't in her blood. It was in the lie.
Water.
That's what Annalisa remembered most. Not the taste, but the weight. 8 ounces. Half a pound. The heaviest thing she'd held in weeks. Brennan gave instructions. 2 ounces now. Wait 10 minutes. 2 more. Your body forgot. We teach it again. 42 women drinking for the first time in 4 days. Some vomited. Bodies rejecting what they needed. Brennan moved between cars, checking vitals, documenting everything. When he reached Annalisa, he pulled out his notebook. Annalisa Richter, 23, 5'6", weight estimate, 87 pounds, BMI 14.1, critical malnutrition. How bad? Critical, but recoverable, if we're careful. Hartfield was on the radio. 42 civilians, severe malnutrition, request medical support, evidence of war crime, disposal protocol. Static. Captain, quarantine protocol requires 72 hours. Medical team en route. 3 days. Sir, Brennan said, in 72 hours, we'll lose 10.
Maybe 15.
Hartfield made his decision. Fisher, tell them we're implementing emergency medical protocol. Authorization Captain Hartfield. Supply drop within 6 hours. Not a request. Sir, they'll court-martial. Let them, people first. Annalise watched. The captain breaking rules. For them. Why? She asked Brennan. He didn't look at her. Had a sister, Margaret, 19, tuberculosis, sanitarium. They had rules, checked patients every 72 hours. By the time someone found her, she'd been dead 3 days, because everyone followed rules. He looked at her then. So when people tell me to wait while others die, I remember Margaret, and I break rules.
Hour 6. Supplies arrived. From other units. Traded cigarettes for milk, chocolate for gauze. Brennan organized it like a field hospital. Each car a ward. Red tags, yellow tags, green tags. Annalise was yellow, car 3. Met Johanna, 19, medical student, kept a diary. Margareta, 35, teacher, photograph of 2 children. First 24 hours, Brennan explained. Liquid only, 8 ounces every 4 hours. Your body forgot. We teach it again. 12 weeks. Week 1, 1,200 calories. Week 2, 1,500, gradual increase. Complications? Refeeding syndrome, electrolytes crash, heart stops, saved from starvation, killed by salvation. He was obsessively careful. Every 4 hours, rounds, pulse, respiration, documentation. His notes would become foundation for Allied protocols. Saved thousands. Day 2, 6 ounces. Day 3, 8. Day 4, she could sit without fainting. Day 5, they moved her outside. Platform. After 27 days, light hurt. But different hurt. Healing hurt. Johanna sat beside her. Why you write? Annalisa asked. So someone knows. If we died, someone would know we existed. Annalisa read the diary. Day 12. Rosa died. Car 1. 4:17 a.m. Last words. Tell my husband I tried. Day 22. Americans came. They didn't leave us. Why? I don't have answer either. Week 2. 93 pounds. 6 gained. The camp was established. 4 tents, 12 cots each. Meal times, medical checks, efficiency. Annalisa started helping. Small tasks, holding bowls, fetching water, translating, being useful. Brennan noticed, you should rest. I rest too much. I forget how to be useful. She became his assistant, learned vitals, recognition of warning signs, logging data. You're good at this, he said. Good at following instructions. No, good at seeing people. That's instinct. You should be nurse someday. Then came the radio message. Week 2, Day 11. Official, command. Captain Hartfield. Cease unauthorized treatment. Transfer to POW facility. Report for disciplinary review. Hartfield read it. Picked up transmitter. Command, negative on transfer. These are civilians, not POWs. Medical protocols continue. Will report when patient stable, not before. Hartfield out. Fisher stared. Sir, that's insubordination. That's medicine, Annalisa heard. Asked what it meant. The captain refused orders. To keep helping you, he'll face consequences. An American officer risking everything. For German women. For her. Because it was right. Week 4. 102 pounds. Annalisa found Helga refusing to eat. Tray full, untouched. Helga, you need to eat. Can't. Every time I reach for food, I remember day 15. The feeling of knowing there would be no more. I'm afraid if I eat this, it will run out again. PTSD. Body remembering trauma. Look at me. I was same. Same car, same fear. But Brennan taught me something. The train was real. But this is real too. We choose which real we live in. How? 1 bite. You don't have to believe it's safe. Just take 1 bite, then another, until belief catches up. Helga picked up the spoon, took 1 bite, then another. Annalisa sat with her through the meal, just present, just witnessing. Later, Brennan found her. Heard what you did with Helga. I just sit. You helped her choose life over fear. That's everything. Week 6, 104 pounds. Late evening,
Hartfield on the platform with his clipboard. 42 names, columns of numbers. Annalise sat beside him. Why precision matter for us? Systems require documentation. Precision saves lives. But why you care? We are enemy. Had a professor, Dr. Morrison, taught us systems are only as good as people who maintain them. This war? System failing. You 42? You were bolts nobody checked. Someone had to check. But we worked for Reich. You're civilians. Big difference. You worked in factory because that was the job. Got arrested for helping grandmother. That makes you victim. I can help victims without forgiving the system. I still dream I'm in train, every night. The contamination wasn't real, but the fear was. Fear doesn't need truth, just repetition. Eventually, proof outweighs lie. How long? Depends. Could be years. But you're collecting evidence. Every day, every meal, every pound. Eventually, the lie loses power.
Week 12, February 10th, 45, 118 pounds. Brennan cleared her for transfer. Final meal, army rations, but more. Dessert, peach cobbler, warm, sweet, cinnamon. Annalisa put it in her mouth, stopped, closed her eyes. First, sweetness, real sweetness, sugar and peaches, flavors forgotten. Then warmth, temperature reaching cold places. Then safety. Dessert meant abundance, meant joy. Tears came, hard, uncontrollable. Süß, ich habe den Geschmack vergessen. Sweet, I forgot the taste. Ich habe vergessen, dass ich ein Mensch war. Du hast mich daran erinnert. I forgot I was human. You reminded me. Brennan smiled. You never stopped being human. You just stopped being seen. We just looked. She picked up the spoon. Standard issue, 8 inches. Can I keep this? The spoon? Yes, to remember. This spoon reminds me. Someone saw me. Someone stayed. Hartfield nodded. It's yours. The most valuable thing she would ever own. Morning, February 11th. Departure. 42 women, 1 bag each, ready. Hartfield shook her hand. Miss Richter, take care. Captain Hartfield, thank you for seeing us. Brennan appeared. Doc, your sister would be proud. You saved 42 lives, but also humanity. Medical treatment kept you alive. Humanity gave you reason to stay alive. Both matter. She climbed into the truck, looked back. Hartfield, Brennan, Fisher, the boxcars, empty now, just evidence. She touched the spoon, metal cool, real, proof she existed. Epilogue. Annalisa Richter lived 59 more years. 46. Returned to Essen. Grandmother dead. Malnutrition. January 45. Never got the aspirin. Worked construction. Found 2 cousins. Started over. 52. Married Karl. Veteran. Lost leg at Stalingrad. Understood surviving. 3 children. Wolfgang. Petra. Hans. Told them about Americans who broke rules. About a spoon. 63. Age 42. Nursing school. Inspired by Brennan. Graduated. Worked rural clinic. 25 years. Specialized malnutrition. Never lost a patient to starvation. Not one. 72. Found Brennan's address. Wrote him. Dear Corporal Brennan, November 1944. The train. I'm infected. You said, no, you're not. Those 3 words saved my life. I became a nurse because of you. Thank you. Annalisa. Brennan wrote back. 26 years of letters. 88. Retired. Donated diary and spoon to Munich Historical Archive. Note: for anyone who feels contaminated, you are not. Someone will see you, I promise. A.R. 95. Medical Conference, Munich. Brennan guest speaker. His documentation published Military Medicine Journal. Standard procedure. Saved thousands. They attended together, 74 and 83. 8 peach cobbler. She'd made it.
First time in 50 years. How does it taste? Sweet, but different. Now I know what sweetness means. Freedom, hope, being seen. 2003, March 14th. Annalise died, 82. Surrounded by family. One letter from Brennan. Thank you for knocking. You saved more lives than I ever did. Rest well. Elliot. 2008, November 20th. Elliot Brennan died, age 96. Funeral attended by 17 he'd saved, including Johanna and Helga, both alive because he broke rules. Today, New Orleans, National World War II Museum. 2024, glass case, second floor, 2 objects. A spoon, U.S. Army, 1944, 8 inches, tarnished, bent handle. A diary, 73 pages, German. 1 question. Day 22. Americans came. They didn't leave us. Why? Placard. Annalise Richter's spoon and Johanna Drescher's diary. This spoon was used during Mrs. Richter's recovery. She kept it 59 years. Her note, this spoon taught me I could still taste sweetness, that I was still human, that someone saw me when I couldn't see myself. Mrs. Richter, 1921 to 2003, factory worker, nurse, mother, part of 42 German women rescued November 1944. All 42 survived due to protocols by Captain Nathaniel Hartfield and Corporal Elliot Brennan. These became standard, credited with saving 8,000-plus prisoners 1945 to 1960. Captain Hartfield, 1916 to 2001, disciplinary review. Charges dropped May 1945. Bronze Star. Corporal Brennan, 1912 to 2008. Medical logs published, Military Medicine Journal, Volume 12, 1955. Mrs. Richter worked as nurse, 1963 to 1988. Final words. Tell them the contamination was a lie. Tell them someone stayed. Tell them the spoon still works. 2 million visitors have seen that spoon. But here's what they miss. They ask, how does this happen? How do 42 people get locked in trains and forgotten? The answer? Through indifference. Through systems running without maintenance. Through rules followed without thought. Someone writes order. Someone follows. Third doesn't question. Train locked. Guards reassigned. Paperwork lost. 42 people become footnote. The lesson. How easy for people to become invisible. How thin the line between contaminated cargo and humans worth saving. And how all it takes is one person who refuses to walk away, who hears knocking, who opens door, who sees people. That's not heroism, that's humanity functioning. But in war, functioning humanity becomes extraordinary. That's the lesson of the spoon. Goodness requires choice. Choice requires someone willing to break rules written by people who never heard knocking, who never saw Annalise's face when she whispered, I'm infected, and meant, please don't leave me. Hartfield saw, Brennan saw, Fisher saw, because they saw 42 women lived. The question, how many trains sit on sidings right now? Who's listening for knocking? The museum closes. Lights dim. The spoon waits. For morning. For the next visitor. How does someone survive 22 days in darkness? The answer? Someone stayed. Someone refused the lie. Someone looked at contaminated cargo and saw humans. Sometimes that's all it takes. One person, one choice, one door, one spoon that still works. 59 years later. Forever.